Learning how to code is like building a Lego set or a puzzle. Without understanding the pieces that you're holding and the relationship with other pieces, there is no way for you to combine all those pieces together. So today I will be going through the process of how I would learn to code if I could start over, if I could go back in time. Before we do that, just to give you a small context, I started coding around 2012, and the first programming language that I learned is ActionScript, and I learned PHP and MySQL or MySQL, if that's how you pronounce that, HTML and CSS. Right now I'm working as a full stack developer at Upskilled. It's a startup company that allows users to listen to educational and high quality podcast. Additionally, I have worked as a game developer in the past, and right now I am also doing this content creation. So with that being said, with all of these experiences, I realized that I could have done something better to become a better software engineer or developer. So if I could start over, if I could go back in time, I would do the following steps to learn programming. Number one, be open-minded. So back then, when I was very close-minded with programming languages and libraries that I should have learned, for example, I learned just pure PHP. I was never open to libraries or, composers and Laravel until it's too late. Even now, I'm not an expert in Laravel. I find it very, very difficult to learn. I don't know why, but I'm just not too good at it. I used to build WordPress themes from scratch without any libraries, and if I could go back in time, if I could start over, I would learn how to use Laravel, Composer, or other libraries to build WordPress instead of using pure PHP. I think it's very efficient to use libraries. Now, additionally, I could have learned advanced C or C++ or Python. I never mastered those programming languages back then when I was just starting, and I kind of regretted that because there's just so many lessons to take from those languages, like memory allocations, pointers, etc. So I am really ashamed to say this, but I still have not written an application using those languages, and I wish I did. Number two, this is going to be controversial, but if I could start over, I would not have gone to college. What I would have done is I will just buy a computer and learn how to code from there and on instead of going to school. In addition to that, I wish I could have changed my mindset and, said to myself that going to school is not equal to success. I wish that it crossed my mind that schools are also businesses, that they're also there to make money, not help you. I know it sounds very negative, but back when I was in college, the school promised that they would give us, help us get a job, our first job, but that never happened. Furthermore, the quality of education back then is just very bad. Like, all the lessons just came from the book that you could just read on your own. And to me, that's not how you should learn programming, which brings me to my next point. Number three, don't waste money buying programming books. I know there are books that are really good, could have used, but that is something that I've done in the past that I wish I didn't do, because most books that I've read are just pretty outdated. And let me tell you, learning programming languages or learning programming with books are insanely difficult. And this was the time when I'm just not good at English. So what I would have done instead is use Google a lot, as much as possible, and look for videos online. YouTube videos, tutorials, the gist, which will help not only my programming skills, but also my listening skills, which is very important in the industry. Programming is not just about coding, guys. It's also about listening to your clients and listening to people around you. So yeah, speaking of YouTube channels or YouTube videos, I remember this one YouTube channel that I loved, and I learned so many things from him, like the basics of web development. His channel name is called Tinkernut.
If you were a teenager 12 years ago and started watching my channel, by now you probably already graduated college and have a family of your own.
I love him so much. He's such a good at making videos and making high quality tutorials. It's not just about, back then we have to watch this video with just notepad and the the author is just writing instructions there. But this is one of the channels that I really loved watching to learn programming. So yeah, if I could go back in time, I would still watch his video. So the key takeaway from this point is that there are plenty of free resources online that you can take advantage of, and I wish I've used more of them than I should have. The next thing that I wish I did more in the past is, continue my YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel, because back then, honestly, I learned more lessons from doing that. Even now, my old videos, I've seen so many mistakes on my videos, and to me personally, that's something that helps. Knowing that what you said is bad, what you said is wrong, it helps you become a better software engineer. So I wish I continued that. I wish I continued making Unity tutorials. I wish I continued web development. I stopped making tutorials back in 2014 or 2015, and I think I started doing random stuff like gaming videos, reaction videos, which is something that I really regret doing. I wish I continued with Unity tutorials. I wish I continued with web development. It will not only help me become a better software engineer, but it will also help me, my communication skills and other soft skills that are important in the industry. And this is going to be the last point that I wish I did in the past, and that is make friends. I know this is such a sad point, but if I could go back in the past, I'd look for people who I can connect with and work with, because I never had a chance to have programming or programmer friends. Most people I've connected with only did programming because it's on demand. Like, you'll make plenty of money because of programming instead of, being passionate towards programming. I was very passionate about programming, I still am. And I wish I found people that are on the same page. And with these people, I could have built something great, like an app, a game, or even a better version of WeeklyHow. So if you're learning programming right now, make good connections, make friends, build a relationship with people, and learn from one another. I think that's one thing that, everyone should do. Right now, the industry is extremely challenging, and if you're all by yourself, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, those are the steps that I would have done if I can start over again. Obviously, there are things that I would not change at all, like my passion towards gaming, because I think gaming is one of the reasons why I started learning programming. Because when I was young, I played this game called Ragnarok Online. It's an MMORPG game, and that taught me a lot about MySQL or MySQL and command line interface, what else, network configurations, and so much more. And I'd still do that. I'd still play that game because I learned so much from it. Because it's also the mindset that if you play the game, you'd be curious, like, how did that work? How did the character move from one place to another by clicking the mouse button or the keys, right? So I would not change that. I will still have that passion towards gaming. Next, I would still learn Unity for sure. I would still learn graphics design, 3D modeling, animations, music design, and video editing. These are just the skills that I'm very proud of to, achieve or learned. And I will not change that because of these skills. I was able to get my very first job and become an important asset to companies that I work with. So if there's one advice I could give to every single one of you, I would say that learn as much as you can. Do not learn just one thing, learn as many skills as possible. Programming languages doesn't matter. Learn as much as you can. So yeah, that's it for me. If you want to share, thoughts in the comments below, I'd appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Go back to work.